Hello, everybody. This is out of character for the show, but we need to settle on the bench for just a second to talk about the sponsor of today's show, Knack. Do you carry around a lot in your backpack like how LeBron James had to carry the Cleveland Cavaliers to 4 straight NBA Finals appearances? Does your messy and disorganized backpack make you want to pull a Bobby Knight and throw a chair across the room? Well, with Knack bags, you can look that frustrating straight in the face and tell it, you're out of here!
Knack bags are a combination of your everyday backpack, a travel backpack, and a laptop bag. You have several pockets around the bag, plus a patent-pending hidden expandable carry-on bag that will help you keep everything you're carrying around organized. Pockets on pockets like Patrick Mahomes picks up passing yard after passing yard. Plus, the interior is as padded as a lineman, allowing you to keep all of your electronics safe and sound. The best part, you don't have to look like the student athlete that just came out of a 3-hour lecture class. No matter the need for your bag, Knack fits your lifestyle. Its look is sleek, organized, professional, and stylish, allowing you to look your best while you work your best.
And right now, if you head to knackbags.com for a limited time, use the promo code BENCH with your next order to get a free TSA-approved lock with purchase. Make sure to add the TSA lock to your cart with your Knack bag of choice and use the code BENCH at checkout to get it for free. Knack, the one-bag life.
This is Empty the Bench with Tom Albano.
We want to make sure that, our swings are still intact as our teams are trying to make a postseason run. Basically, the All-Star game, if after 9 innings there's a tie, baseball is going to say, no, fuck you, get up there and hit home run.
Nick Morgeson.
Dumbass deals like Apple, which are getting a Friday night exclusive doubleheader. You have Peacock, which are going to have games starting at 11:30 a.m., This is why baseball's going Little League bases. This is why baseball's trying to put a shift into play. What's next? Let's put trampolines in the outfield while we're at it.
And Nick Federa.
Use offer code Ridley to get 15% off your next bet.
Empty the Bench starts now.
99 days and a man fraud isn't one. Well then,
I feel like that's a little bit of a
Bit of a teaser.
I wouldn't even say a teaser. I think that's a little underwhelming for all the topics we had on today's show. Okay,
Yeah.
ready to empty the bench, episode number 126. That's Nick Morgeson, Nick Federa. I'm Tom Albano, and gentlemen, over the last 48 to 72 hours, the world just absolutely combusted in sports.
oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot going on. We'll get to the MLB frenzy. We'll get to the NFL frenzy. Wait a minute, there's two frenzies. Two frenzies.
And you know what happens when you cross two frenzies together? You get in a hootenanny.
And by the way, before we get started, this show is presented by Knack Bags. Thank you to Knack for being with us. If I can get to my bag here. Yes, I keep my Knack bag by me at all shapes and sizes. Even when I'm showering, I keep my bag near me. So,
Hey, where else is the rubber duck going to go?
by the way, if you want to get a Knack bag, please go get one. If you go to knackbags.com, use promo code BENCH to get a free Knack TSA-approved lock. $15 free offer along with your Knack bag. Okay. So we have a lot to talk about.
Yeah, so I know baseball right now is the hot topic, as damaged as the sport is, but I think there's one move between everything going in the MLB and NFL, all the different free agencies. I think there's one move that blew my brain the most, and it happened yesterday. I did my ETB minute on it this morning. Deshaun Watson has finally been traded after the year-plus long drama between Watson and the Texans. Actually, you could even say 2+ years if you go back to DeAndre Hopkins getting traded by Bill O. I'm a genius, Brian.
Bill, oh shit, what did I do?
Wait a minute. Are we still banned from talking this topic or no?
Oh, no. Blocked, but not banned. But when's a block going to stop us?
I don't know.
Well, the block has stopped Nick Morgeson, basically. He's been double blocked.
There you go. There it is. There it is.
All right. Anyways, Deshaun Watson, after years of drama involving, the Texans, with how the Texans traded away Bill O'Brien, and just now they went from a contender to stink, and then Watson got into his own stink involving the, 22 lawsuits. And remember, those lawsuits have not gone away. He's been dropped from the criminal charges, but not from the civil charges. However, that did not stop the Browns because I told you guys, once the criminal charges got dropped, something was going to happen. I did not expect, however, he would go to the Browns and the Browns would give him a 5-year, $230 million fully guaranteed deal.
Which makes him the highest paid player.
What are we doing here? What are we doing here? And by the way, I can't dispute that this is funny because at the same time, Cleveland gave up its 3 first-round picks plus its 2 compensatory picks on top of it. We thought it was just a normal deal.
So
they mortgaged their future.
We had been told, and the other interesting tidbit that I'd seen, well, Baker Mayfield did not take this news well, and before he was traded.
We'll get to Baker in a second. I want to go the full trade here first.
Yeah.
So it's Watson and a 2024 fifth from Houston to Cleveland. Cleveland will give the Texans their 2022 first, so the first in next month's draft, their 2023 first, their 2024 first, a third-round pick in 2023, and a fourth-round pick in 2024.
So a king's ransom.
A king's ransom for an individual who, granted, Deshaun Watson has got amazing quarterback skills, but has not seen the field since the end of the 2020 season.
I'm sorry. I know that. I know.
Count the big A, the alleged baggage.
No. Stop with that. We know it's baggage. It's not alleged anymore. It's out there.
Well, listen. Guilty or not, and no matter what happens with the civil suit, it is still in some way baggage.
Still part of it. Yeah.
It is still baggage. Remember,
by the way,
hang on. Remember, even though he is dropped from the criminal charges, the NFL still has the right to suspend him, and we've seen the NFL suspend for less.
I hope they
have.
I wish they would permanently suspend his ass from the NFL for half the shit that he's pulled. I mean, I have to give him the Nick seal of approval first.
Congratulations, dickweeds.
Because this whole thing is ridiculous. You go from being a year off the field to all of a sudden 5 years, $230 million, and now you're considered the top quarterback?
Well, I'll tell you. I'd say that congratulations, dickweeds doesn't go to Deshaun. That should go to the Browns. What are you doing?
Exactly.
No, but Deshaun deserves nothing. This man has been a menace to society.
Nick, this is the NFL.
Forget
if there is a way that they will, whitewash is not exactly the term. They will try to clean slate everything. The most heinous, despicable behavior you could think of. If they can find a way to get around it, they will.
There is no clean slate. When there's domestic violence involved and 22 civil lawsuits involved, there is no clean slate.
I agree with you, but look at what happened with the Chiefs. Does anybody talk about Kareem Hunt anymore?
Okay, but Kareem
ironically, he's the number 2 running back on the Browns.
Yeah, but can we all agree that Kareem Hunt is not Deshaun Watson?
Okay, no. You want to go that direction? You want to go star quarterbacks? Hey, Ben Roethlisberger had the accusations in 2006. He got what? 4 games, 6 games?
I said that he should have been gone a long time ago, Ben Roethlisberger.
Doesn't matter, but it doesn't matter what you said. It's what they think.
It doesn't matter what you say, Nick. Unfortunately, it only matters what the NFL thinks. And
you're on the right side of this. That's not in dispute. What shouldn't be in dispute is the NFL will try to find a way to hear no evil, see no evil, speak no evil.
But the NFL is full of scumbags, and your lead scumbag is your commissioner of the sport.
Ta-da!
Hello, Nick. You're answering your own question.
Are you new here?
No, but I'm saying, by the way, this is a record for NFL contracts. This is the largest guaranteed contract in the history of the NFL, and we're giving it to a guy with civil lawsuits.
Well, now, hang on. Well, now, how do you feel? Well, we'll get to Aaron Rodgers a little later in the show, but how do you feel if you're Aaron Rodgers now? You just got a big contract on the Packers.
To be quite honest, I'm kind of glad because I hope every bad thing happens to Aaron Rodgers from now on, to be quite honest.
Well, then again, I mean, we just don't like him because he's an idiot.
Well, now hang on.
Because he's an idiot.
But if you want to trash talk this Deshaun Watson deal, I'll turn it around. I'll talk trash about this Deshaun Watson deal on the Browns because you think this is a bad, field. This is a bad move in terms of off the field optics. This is also a bad move in terms of on the field optics. First of all, I say because I never got the chance to go through everything in my minute this morning because the minute's only a minute long.
Well, by the way, trust me, you needed like 3 hours to go through this whole thing.
Okay.
That
You could have taken
First of all, $230 million, a fully guaranteed deal on a quarterback who hasn't seen the field since 2020. So what happens if Deshaun Watson comes on that field that first game and just, needs time? And it sucks. And
I'll give you one better. If he tears an ACL and he's out for the year, what happens?
I'll do one better. Guys, even if he gets a suspension that we're going to groan about, how it's not long enough and such, we could still see him being suspended 6-8 games, which means it'll be the middle of the season. And the Browns, this relates to the third point. If you're the Browns, look at yourselves, even with Deshaun Watson. Then look at your rivals at the Bengals, who just went to the Super Bowl. Then look at your rivals at the Ravens, who have Lamar Jackson. And then you have the Steelers, which, the Steelers are an iffy bit anyway. But
hey, Mitchell Trubisky, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
But answer yourself. If you're looking at the Browns, answer yourself. Do you really have what it takes to defeat the Bengals, to defeat the Ravens, and to sweep 2 games against the Steelers? My answer is no.
It's obvious that they didn't think they did with the pieces that they had in place with Baker.
Well, you want to talk about pieces in place? Let me go on there. You have Deshaun Watson. Congratulations. But let's see. Odell, you gave up to the Rams, and he went on to win the Super Bowl.
Landry, who they just released.
Landry's requesting a trade.
No, he released him.
Well, but regardless, Landry's not going to be there next season. Rashard Higgins is gone. What paces do you have? What receivers do you have to throw to him?
And by the way,
like him in Texas in 2020 all over again.
By the way, if I hear one more analyst, oh, well, we're the top 5 team, we're big defense. If I hear that one more time about the Cleveland Browns, I'm going to snap.
They were
they do have a good
defense.
Nick, they do have a good defense, but it's not. My point is, it's not going to be enough. And furthermore, so congratulations, you got Deshaun Watson. A great quarterback arm, but you're forgetting something. The scheme in Cleveland is run first by way of Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. So you're getting a quarterback in a run first offense. You are going to be wasting his potential if he is as good as he was when he was with Houston, or you're going to be changing the offensive scheme, which is going to be good for the likes of Chubb and Hunt. What are you doing over there in Cleveland?
You're either going to kneecap your offense, or you're either going to kneecap the quarterback, or you're going to kneecap the rest of the team. So,
well, I'll just say it again because it makes sense.
One or the other.
I'll say it again because basically you have a throwing quarterback who doesn't. He's Eli Manning in the pocket. He can barely get out of the damn pocket, and you're putting him in a run first offense. You don't know who the head coach is half the time. Jimmy Haslam is one of the worst owners in all of the NFL. He's not going to spend. He's as cheap as heck. This is one random deal he made. But
it's always the cheap ones that have one splurge to throw you off the scent.
And I get it. And I understand. They needed a quarterback in the worst way. And you know what?
That?
But wait a minute. Let's talk about part 2 of this story because the whole Baker Mayfield situation of this is a bad optic, especially from
it absolutely is. And because you have to understand something because, well, for those of you who don't know, context is necessary. So Baker was unaware of all of this. Nobody told him anything, and he went on Instagram and he said it was basically a goodbye notice without actually saying goodbye.
Well, the Browns were openly flirting. A little bit with was it Deshaun? I think it was with Deshaun.
Oh, they were one of the couple of teams because it was the Saints, the Falcons, the Browns. I think there was a 4th team. I can't remember. But basically, Baker went on social media and punched out the Browns on social media, basically said goodbye without even knowing he was
saying the words goodbye. But
right. I was going to say, and the little bit of a screwed up part, I understand where we're going to talk about Baker Mayfield's ability, but a little bit of a screwed up part is Baker's contract after the 2020 season in which the Browns, all of a sudden became lively and the talk of the town. They renewed, they gave him the 5th year option before his 4th year had started.
which makes no sense. The whole situation is weird. And I just pulled up the tweet because I wanted to see some of the, you know how when you put a tweet out and you have to put out like different parts of it because it doesn't fit on one thing. He put out like,
because originally it was an Instagram post.
Yeah.
So I look at it easy. He wrote Cleveland, comma, the past 4 years have been nothing short of truly life-changing since I heard my name called in the draft to go to Cleveland. This is not a message with hidden meaning. This is strictly to thank the city of Cleveland for embracing my family and me. We have made many memories and shared growing in this process through all the ups and downs. I have no clue what happens next, which is the meaning behind the silence I've had during the duration of this process. I can only control what I can, which is trusting in God's plan throughout this process.
I mean,
You see, here's the thing that jumped out at me, and I'll put it to you, gentlemen. Chris Mortensen, I remember Chris Mortensen was quoted from ESPN was quoted as saying that the Browns wanted an adult in the room, which explains the rationale for training him or for trading him. My question is, you want an adult in the room, and yet you go to Mr. Baggage over there?
I mean, it's irony at first sight when you see they bring in a guy who can't control his power struggle when it comes to women, and basic
self-control.
I know, but I find it funny, because it's like they're having their own Kyler Murray situation. Because if you remember the reports about Kyler Murray needing to mature, causing all those problems, between him and the Cardinals. But meanwhile, I know Cleveland. I know Baker Mayfield doesn't have the greatest ability, as great of an ability as Kyler Murray and such. But Baker, still played a role in helping the Browns become, the talk of the town for those 3 seasons prior to this one. And then this season, his shoulder was a little messed up, and they kept throwing him out there.
In a torn labrum. And they kept saying, oh, you'll be okay. You rehab. You're an NFL player. You're a tough guy. You can handle it.
I agree from the optics of they needed an upgrade at quarterback. I agree on the optics of Baker Mayfield, maybe not as good as, of that quarterback draft list in 2018. But I feel like the Browns still did him a disservice. I feel like the Browns, and I think it's pretty clear by this move for Deshaun Watson, the Browns, they don't have the halo and wings. They are not, they are not the good guys.
They're not the innocent ones. They're not.
Let's make something very clear. Baker Mayfield has done a lot of dumb things, including in college. And he went on Colin Cowherd's radio show, and they talk about the whole incident where he's kind of running allegedly from the police in that video at night. I mean,
I thought was he the one who grabbed down his crotch or something during?
He did that too. That was after the touchdown celebration in Oklahoma, I think. But he's not anyone that thinks Baker Mayfield is the guy with the wings and the halo. You're obviously delusional. I've never seen Baker Mayfield before. Now, like Nick said, when you're replacing him with somebody like Deshaun Watson, who is an alleged domestic abuser, you can't win here. You can't win. And then you give him $230 million guaranteed to boot.
So no, but I'm saying for the Browns to do all this, to do this move, and then basically tell Baker once he requests a trade, like immediately, no, despite the fact that he already has one preferred destination with the Colts, and despite the fact that reportedly, well, according to the rumor mill, Seattle and Pete Carroll have reached out to the Browns about Baker Mayfield. No, but I know, Nick, I know you were saying, maybe not a great suitor and such, but when you have some demand out there and you're already telling, you already signed Deshaun Watson to this mega deal where you gave up your first round picks for the next 3 years, why aren't you doing anything with Baker?
You know why?
Are you saying no, you just be the backup?
This is the same organization that had Hugh Jackson, who reportedly came out and said the same thing as what's his name, who was dealing with the losing on purpose situation. I'm forgetting his name all of a sudden. Out of the Dolphins, Brian Flores. Same situation where he reportedly was losing games because Jimmy Haslam wanted him to lose games reportedly. You're dealing with an organization that's ass backwards. They don't know how to do things in the proper sense.
It's amazing that even when the Browns reach a point where they have the highest of highs, like when they face the Chiefs in that divisional round, Browns still manage to Browns.
It's an immutable law of the universe at this point. The grass is green, water is wet, the sky is blue, and Browns are Browns.
And by the way, You know why they probably are not trading him? Because he purposely tanked his trade value by putting that letter out.
So the Colts
okay, fair. But now let's say, okay, but then let me play devil's advocate. Let's say Deshaun gets suspended 8 games, at least half the season. So let's say, and you look at your competition. Actually, you know what? If I'm going to go this route, let's do some experimenting, gentlemen. Let's actually look at the Browns' 2022 opponents. I know we don't have a full schedule yet, but the opponents are always set in January. So let's have a look here. So the 2022 opponents are set for the Browns. Let me get their website up. Okay, they are going to have home games first against, their divisional rivals, the Ravens, the Bengals, and the Steelers. They're going to have a home game against the Chargers and Justin Herbert. Now, I could see a loss there. They're going to have a home game against the Patriots, who are turning things around with Mac Jones. They're going
to get destroyed.
No, but here's my point. If you are the Browns, but because now they have done this deal with Deshaun Watson, and because of what, the situation over in Cleveland is now, they could be looking at least a top 10 pick. But guess what? Now that top 10 pick is going to go to Houston. So you have a chance, you're basically tearing it down. Like, what are you going to do? Free agency, or are you only going to do free agency? Because at the rate, that's where it's going. Because you're not going to have a first-round pick for the next 3 years unless you do some shit.
But to go back to this whole thing with Baker, that I think they're doing this up, as Nick would say, they're going, nah, we trapped you, even though that's what the Browns would do, because they're such a fucked up organization.
No, they trapped themselves. They punched themselves in the face.
No, they're trapped. You know why they're trapping him? Because they know he's a bad guy, and they're basically saying to him.
No, this is trap session. You're right. They have trapped Baker, but by doing that, they also trap themselves.
Yes, you're trying
within a trap.
Yeah, but they have a quarterback.
You're trying to lock him in a cage, but then you end up being locked in the cage with him.
Nick, they have a quarterback for now, but if they think that they can compete in 2021,
they're not.
2022, they're ridiculous.
No, even if he wasn't suspended. First of all, you pointed out, we all pointed out, the whole world has pointed it out that Deshaun Watson is a throwing quarterback by trade. We know that.
I'd say, and what receivers do they have over in Cleveland?
Zero.
None. This is just like in Houston after they traded away DeAndre Hopkins. His number one receiver was Brandon Cooks. Now, Brandon Cooks is actually pretty decent as a receiver, but he is not a number one. He's not
DeAndre Hopkins.
And I'll speak, and because we're talking about both Deshaun Watson and Baker Mayfield, I'll speak directly to Deshaun Watson. I don't care if I'm already blocked, so I can give two shits what Deshaun Watson.
You're basically on his front lawn shouting into his house.
I'm going to say, look, you're a scumbag. I hope you never take the field ever again. You're the biggest piece of shit I've ever seen in my life. He has 22 civil lawsuits. I hope they get you on all 22 lawsuits. I hope you go to jail and never see the field again.
He's not going to jail, Nick. He can't. Criminally, he's not liable anymore.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot. NFL athletes, they get off on everything because of Roger Goodell.
All right. Let's take a break from the NFL. We'll talk more about the madness. We'll talk about Aaron Rodgers forcing that deal, forcing Davante Adams traded to Vegas and everything in just a little bit. But let's talk some baseball first.
RELAX.
Shut up.
You sit down. Sit down. We're talking baseball now.
It's baseball's time right now. Damaged as the sport is, baseball ended up having their free agency just now. As spring training games, actually, they're still having free agency as spring training games are already underway. And man, deal after deal after deal. So let's talk about the big deal. Let's talk about the one that broke within the last 15 hours or so. Carlos Correa lands on the Twins on a 3-year, $105.3 million deal.
What the f***?
So, ladies and gentlemen, it seems like the Twins are angling for more than just a first-round loss in the division series to the Yankees. And I'm not bragging here. I have evidence to back me up. But isn't it funny, ladies and gentlemen, how there are 2 opt-outs in a 3-year deal?
No.
So it's 3 1-year deals. So it's really...
No. I don't say it's abnormal because it's a Scott Boras client. He wants to go back out on the market. Wait. So
ladies and gentlemen, It's time for another edition of BS.
So
It never went away.
So there's a bunch of shortstops hitting the market after this contract year. Xander Bogaerts, who I think can opt out after this year, or he's a free agent. He's one. Trevor Story's still out there. He might sign a 1 year deal, so he might be back out on the market again. This all could benefit Carlos Correa to go back out on the market after one season.
We're assuming, of course, that Trevor Story will be signing a short-term deal, or even a deal with the teams listed, because as of this recording, it hasn't happened yet.
No, as of this moment, reported teams in on Story are the Rangers, the Astros, the Red Sox, and Yankees.
All right, I need to point out one thing. I said this to the guys before we started. Can we stop? And I'm talking about John Heyman. I'm talking about Passan. I'm talking about all the insiders. Can we stop saying that the Yankees are absolutely involved in every big name free agent there is? It's a lie. We know it's a lie.
If they do make a move, you wouldn't hear anything, because did you remember hearing anything about them being involved in Josh Donaldson?
No.
Exactly. It didn't happen until it did.
So I need the insiders to stop lying, because what they're doing is they're looking for news.
I'll say, I wouldn't necessarily call it lying. I think the Yankees always reach out, just to see, but I don't know if it's a matter of the level of seriousness. And I think the Yankees are not going to be too serious on Story. You know why? Because if we're going to talk about this Josh Donaldson deal, and I'll give my opinion, because the Josh Donaldson deal would be part of this, because that broke on Sunday night.
Yeah.
So I'll say my opinion here. This trade was around one thing and one thing only. I mean, yes, Minnesota freed up $50 million to help with this Correa move. Yes, the Yankees got another power bat in Donaldson and took on all $50 million. But I think it comes down to one person and one person only for the Yankees, and it's not even anybody on their major league roster.
Josh Volpe, Anthony Volpe.
Anthony Volpe.
All right.
They think Anthony Volpe in their AAA system right now is the next Derek Jeter.
All right. Are we going to learn, though, from over the years with the Yankees organization that it's a dangerous precedent to set to rely on their highly touted prospects?
Prospect hugging, essentially. And I'm not going to say prospect hugging got us into the situation.
No, it did.
But refusing to see the players you were bringing up were too one-dimensional.
Well, here's the thing. I'll just say it flat out. There has to be a form, as kind of the Thanos mindset, of balance. That there are people that you do take chances on. For instance, Jason Dominguez, who is well built, has all this hype that he's a 5-tool player, young guy. Yes, he is somebody you take a chance on. But, it still plays in my mind how in like 2018 or so, they could have gotten a little bit of a ransom for Clint Frazier. We said, no, we're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep him, even though our outfield is all jammed up. We're going to continue to hold on to Clint.
And now he's gone.
Yes.
I mean,
the Yankees got nothing for him.
I'll go one step further. And most Yankee fans have probably forgotten about this name. Jesus Montero, anybody?
Well, he was a wash for a lot of other teams. So
yeah, so I can't count that one.
No, but they could have gotten a major ace if they had traded him at his original trade value.
Exactly. But you know what? This is baseball. Baseball is a crapshoot anyway. That's why
Chamberlain.
That's why they're called prospects and not sure things.
Yeah.
But they held on to Jobber Chamberlain too long and he got hurt.
But there is such a thing as being too careful. And you're right about that. But I mean, can I at least say I think people are undervaluing Isaiah Kiner-Falefa? Because I think he's got some value.
He does
bring another dimension to this lineup.
And if we're going to talk about Josh Donaldson and all the money he's owed, and the fact that the Yankees are taking on all the money, and it's all very short term, it's like 2 years, maybe 1 year. Here's the thing about Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Guys, did you know that even though he's listed as a shortstop, he came up through the system as a catcher?
Yes.
And when he slid over to third base, he won a Gold Glove over there. So I'm telling you what's going to happen is once Volpe's up, they're going to say, see ya, Donaldson, and then just going to conveniently move IKF over to third.
The deal is a joke. I'm sorry. why are you trading for a guy who hasn't played a full season in 3 years and take on $50 million? You took on all the money. If you at least told the Twins to be on the hook for half of it, I would have said, okay, we can play with this.
So I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of the deal, but I have some understanding for it. And Nick, you should be celebrating because you of all people, I know your opinion on Gary Sanchez, and now Gary Sanchez is finally out of here.
Well, yeah.
And can I be the one to say I'm gonna miss him? Because I really did like Gary, but
I'll say he did it to himself.
He stunk.
They gave chance
the
after
noise,
chance.
the noise got to him.
And by the way,
like I said, I'm going to. Like I said, I told you what basically the whole thing is about Gary, and it goes. To quote basically Mara when he was talking about McAdoo, he will be basically Gary. He will be, he can be a great catcher. It will not be for the New York Yankees. Gary will go down with the likes, with the likes of Sonny Gray and company, who just, maybe he'll be great in Minnesota. But New York just didn't fit. It just does not fit New York.
It's on a long list of players who have tried to come to New York. Well, whether it's in the minor league system up to the majors or trade. It didn't work.
No.
He can't catch. I hate to say this. I'm going to be hot take here. He could not catch. What are you, 15 pass balls in a season?
Javier Vasquez, anybody?
Oh, God.
Jose Contreras, anybody?
Oh, God.
Kevin Brown, anybody?
What can Brown lose for you?
Carl Pavano, anybody? I can keep going. I'll go on a whole list.
I'd even say to a degree, Randy Johnson, anybody?
Oh, I think that cameraman is still emotionally scarred.
Oh, God, I still get shivers if I ever see a screen grab of that.
And by the way, what's so funny about that deal is they traded him back to Arizona, didn't they? Or didn't he sign back with Arizona after that?
Wait, well,
they did. Randy Johnson.
After being traded, then he went back to Arizona.
I thought you were going to talk about the IKF situation in which. He was part of that swap between the Rangers and Minnesota. So he had to get his car moved from the Rangers camp to the Minnesota spring training camp. And then after he did that, he got traded to New York. And now the poor guy can't get his rental car.
He can't get his car back. But,
in the words of Ashton Kutcher, dude, where's my car?
But still, I mean, there are other free agency deals, that are worth talking about. So
Freddie Freeman?
Freddie fucking Freeman.
Which I have to get on the Dodgers for something, which makes no sense to me whatsoever. So you give him a 6-year deal at the age of 32. Okay, I get it. Freddie Freeman wants protection for the end of his career. But at the same time, the Braves went cheap on their hometown guy after winning a World Series.
Exactly.
$100 million. I'm going to say this again. $100 million in profit last year, and you can't afford to bring your guy back?
Because they don't need him anymore now that they traded for Matt Olson.
They gave Matt Olson more money.
Matt Olson to do that, though.
Wait a minute. They gave Matt Olson more money.
Freddie Freeman waited too long, I guess?
No.
They just don't like Freddie Freeman anymore. I hate to say it, but that's what it looks like. They just had enough of him. And
they don't win that World Series without him.
They don't win that World Series without him. And
to be fair, guys, but to be fair, with Matt Olson at first base, that's still a great Braves.
No.
Absolutely.
I'm not disputing that.
This is absolutely a good thing for the Braves. However,
I'm not disputing that.
I just don't see how that could. I just don't see how Mr. Brave for the 21st century could have just
because Nick, they have another face because
they
have other faces of the franchise like Ronald Acuna Jr.
Yeah, but I'm not disputing that. Matt also, first of all, is from Atlanta, so that kind of fits their profile. But at the same time, Freddie Freeman is your guy. You won the World Series off of him when Ronald Acuna went down with a major injury.
Right. Now, here's the thing. Let's talk about this Dodgers deal because even with Freddie Freeman's value, I don't know if I'm a fan of this deal that the Dodgers did.
I'm not.
Neither am I, and there's a very specific reason why I'm not. And there is part of it. Well,
2 words: deferred money. 6 years, $162 million deal. However, 57 million of it is deferred. And remember, I'll say that this is the other potential positive for the Braves. Freddie Freeman is 32 years old. So if he does not live up to that same value as he did over in Atlanta, imagine all that money. I think Nick, you had made an interesting comparison comparing it to a certain Mets before.
He's the next generation version of Bobby Bonilla. He's a Bobby Bonilla reboot, and I'm hoping that it does work out, and it's not like that. But if it does,
I agree. I hope so.
Yeah, but he's going to be paid through like 2050. He's going to be
2040. But
whatever. That's not the point. Ken Griffey Jr. is doing that now with the Reds. He's still being paid $3.75 million a year.
The difference between Ken Griffey Jr. and Bobby Bonilla is Ken Griffey Jr. was one of the greatest of our generation, and somebody who should have been a unanimous Hall of Famer.
No, I'm not disputing that. I'm just saying that I hate this deferred money thing. They're doing it with Aaron Rodgers with bonus pool money, which we'll get to.
We'll get to that.
But I don't understand this deferred money. First of all, the LA Dodgers of all teams are deferring money. What does that tell you?
I guess they're just they understand they're way above the luxury tax threshold, right?
They're
I don't think they care.
They're 300 million plus. The number is 290.
I don't think they care, honestly.
And I think that's bad. I think it's bad for the sport that they're overspending. I do.
Oh, it's good for the sport when the Yankees do it, but I mean, I agree with you. It's good for the sport. It's good for the sport when more people do it. More people should.
No, I'm saying
arbitrary.
No. I'm saying that the whole contract of deferred money is a bad situation.
Oh, kicking the can down the road, that kind of thing. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, because the more money you push down the road, it's going to come back and bite you. It's like dead money in the NFL with the cap.
Again, this has already been seen in microcosm with Bobby Bonilla.
No, but Bobby Bonilla's money was not as much as this.
Okay, well, if we get off of...
That's why I said microcosm.
Well, let's get off of this one for a second. If we want to talk about a head-scratcher of a deal, so after the Rockies traded away Nolan Arenado recently, they acquire Chris Bryant from San Francisco on a 7-year, was it $182 million?
182. 7 years, 182.
All of it is guaranteed.
Which is more than they were going to give Arenado on his original deal.
Wait, and full no trade.
And a full no trade clause?
And full no trade.
Oh, so my goodness.
By the way, I called, and I've said this, this goes all the way back when we did the Unspoken podcast. That's how far this comment I made goes back. The no trade clause is what I call the idiot clause, because literally you can't trade him. You're stuck with him. If he stinks completely, you're stuck with that.
You're literally chaining them together by their ass cheeks.
And I like Chris Bryant, but I don't know if he deserved the kind of a contract that was greater than what they were giving Nolan Arenado.
No. Hell no.
Absolutely not.
Nolan Arenado is 100 times better player than Chris Bryant is.
Chris Bryant is a hell of a player, and he definitely helped the Giants get as far as they did in the playoffs. But I mean, looking at it from the San Francisco Giants perspective, it's like, yeah, we wouldn't have paid that. Are you kidding me?
The only difference
he's not that good.
The only difference between Chris Bryant and Nolan Arenado, Chris Bryant can play multiple positions. That's the only difference.
Yeah,
but I guess every team that is trying to be in the tank has to have at least one highly paid player to kind of act as a smoke screen, almost like a beard.
And by the way, we need to stop with the excuses.
We're not tanking. See, we're paying this guy $182 million.
No,
see?
Wait, but the excuse that we need to stop with Colorado. Hey, come play for Colorado where the ball flies out of the park. Come play with us. Come. Hey, if that were the case, we should send Rob Manfred there. Maybe he'll fly out as well.
No, shoot him out of a cannon.
At mile high.
Maybe if he got high, maybe the sport would run better.
All right. Just some other deals that are worth mentioning. Let's see.
I saw Kenley Jansen signed also with the Braves.
Kenley Jansen signing a 1-year deal with the Braves.
After
being Mr. Dodger closer for how many years?
That bullpen is going to be sick.
I'm telling you, Dodgers, Braves, NLCS. I'm telling you, it is going to happen. Oh, and by the way, if I'm Philadelphia, I'm preparing for a lot of tragedy over the next 5 years because
Oh,
Nick
no.
Castellanos, which means every time something happens, Nick Castellanos is going to hit a home run and make it a 4-1 ball game.
Oh, 5
Deep
years.
left field.
5 years. 5 years.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Philly fanatic absolutely apologizes unequivocally for his anti-Semitic behavior, and that's a deep drive into left field by Castellanos, and it's a grand slam. It's a 4-0. Just to repeat, the Philly fanatic is not an anti-Semite. Repeat, he is not an anti-Semite.
Oh, what is going on here? I need a break.
I broke him. I think I broke him.
Okay, break over.
All right. I actually have water coming out of my eyes, which is funny because I'm gonna have water coming out of my eyes probably if this next thing happens, and I fear one player is gonna be the victim of.
Oh boy!
This.
Oh boy!
Nick and Nick.
All right, hold on.
Now, for those of you who saw me on the bench,
Wait! This is going to be a double take.
That's right. Empty the Bench takes a trip to the circus that is New York baseball and vaccination rules. It's the circus that no one wants to go to.
I never thought I would have to say this, but Empty the Bench is about to take the trip to the circus that is not only New York Mets, but is the New York Yankees. I just felt sad saying that.
It feels dirty in my mouth when I say it. Ugh.
Okay, I need to say something about this because Nick and I discussed this, and if you go and check out Beyond the Bench, we on Twitter at Beyond the Bench 1, we posted a clip this morning about how we played the audio from Aaron Judge, and I'm trying to see if I can find it because the Aaron Judge answer.
I wish instead you would play the rant you and Nick went off on.
You have no idea.
If you saw Beyond the Bench this week, we kind of got a little carried away.
Oh, here we go. You want to hear what Aaron Judge had to say?
No, but go ahead.
So here's what Aaron Judge said when he was asked about the vaccination.
If he was vaccinated or not.
Let's get into the first game of spring training, so I think we'll cross that bridge whenever the time comes. But right now, so many things could change, so I'm not really too worried about that right now.
So you're not worried about it. You're not worried about being vaccinated. And by the way, Nick made a good point. I have to credit him on this next point that I'm about to say. That was a long answer for not
just said yes or no.
Yeah, no. I'm saying if you say it's not a problem, then why don't you just say yes?
Because
exactly.
And can I need to bring up another point I made on Beyond the Bench. Actually, go listen to it because Nick and I went off on it. Why the hell, in front of the New York media, would you answer the vaccination question by saying we'll kick the can down the road when we need to get to it? Why?
Me? I don't speak English.
Yeah, no. He does speak English, and you know what he actually answered with? I'll tell you what he actually answered with. Yes, I am immunized.
I am immunized. I am not vaccinated.
RELAX.
It's all your fault.
Aaron.
It's all your fault. You did this whole thing. Besides, the issue here,
Nick Morganson would be very happy when I also blame another athlete for the way things are.
Wait a minute. I said this already. Nick, I said this already, didn't I?
Yes, you did.
I would blame LeBron James for this too. Because LeBron James was beating around the bush saying whether he wouldn't get vaccinated. Aaron Judge is being LeBron James.
I mean, they're both being Derek Jeter. If you're
I don't know if Derek Jeter was always upfront about health things. I don't know if he
was health things, but he equivocated. He mamboed around the question like Derek Jeter was very, very good at.
Yeah, but you know what? Aaron Judge has done this. He had COVID, and he still won't get the vaccine. It's clear he doesn't have it.
Of course, now we're going to find out for sure.
I'd say
Now we're gonna get our answer.
That. I wouldn't say that, but we're going to find out the answer soon.
Tom, the answer is clear. He wouldn't answer the question.
But again, now we're going to find out. Now we're going to find out.
Hang on. But to be fair, he does have a couple of weeks. So if he gets the first shots and then gets, maybe it's not
ready to go.
But wait a minute. Don't you think it's quite obvious the way he answered that he wouldn't say yes or no, and he had to give a long diatribe?
Oh, absolutely. But again, innocent until proven guilty. But the thing is, even Anthony Rizzo said he would probably. He said you don't have to worry about that. Which
I'd say. Well, Anthony Rizzo,
was a cancer patient. So the vaccine doesn't necessarily generate the same level of antibodies in his system than non-cancer having people do.
Yeah, but the league didn't give a shit because he still had to get out.
The league didn't give a shit, but I mean, even if he's getting vaccinated, what choice do you have?
But who's the other guy? I want to know who the other player is.
Yeah, Aaron Boone. Because
we're going to find out.
We're going to find out. The Mets too. The Mets
we're
too.
Find out the Mets.
I forgot about that because I brought that up to Nick as well. There are Mets players that are not vaccinated. We don't know who. Aaron Judge is really the only one who's been clear and speaking up about it.
Okay, but again, we're going either way you feel about Judge. We are going to find out who on the Yanks and Mets are not vaccinated. We are going to find out
when they go to Toronto. When they make their first trip to Toronto, we're going to know. Yep. But actually, let me take that back. The Yankees have home games before they go to Toronto. So
right.
if they're not vaccinated, let's go over the mandate.
No. If they don't change the mandate,
I don't know if they will.
Well,
yes, maybe you can say, maybe you can say, yeah, but they play outdoors, but they still got the locker room and everything.
Yeah, but I brought this point up to Nick also. The private sector rule has not changed.
Right.
It has not changed. Exactly.
So if you're
MLB is technically, guys, MLB and all the other sports leagues are technically private businesses.
Yeah, let me check. For most fans who don't know. Private sector sport, they go by their own rules. I would consider that private sector, right?
Yes, I would too.
So here's the deal. And if he's not on that field on the first day, with when is their first home game? Because I don't think they start out at home, do they?
Maybe.
Hang on, let me have a look.
I think they didn't before they started canceling games.
Hang on. The opening day is April 7th now. No, they started at home against the Red Sox.
So if he's not on the field for the Red Sox game, I am going to trash him to smithereens if he's not.
Yeah, but you know what? He may be on the field April 9th or April 10th. It sounds stupid to say Aaron Judge wouldn't be in the opening day lineup, but with how baseball is these days, you never know.
If he's not on the field due to the stupidity of not getting a vaccination, you're going to have
to. Nick, what I'm saying is, with how the Yankees have been over the last few years, it's always common for somebody to have the day off. You got to look at the series as a whole.
If they make an excuse and say they're giving him a day off on opening day, that's going to be
it looks like you're hiding something.
Okay, fair. I'm just pointing out the stupidity of it all.
Yeah, I understand. No, absolutely. I understand that.
If they use that built-in excuse, because usually they build in an off day for rain delay and weather in the first series, if they say, "Oh, well, we decided not to play him on opening day, but we had a built-in day off." You know how dumb that's going to look? The New York media is going to eat that up and spit it out.
No, we're not hiding anything. Just don't look over there.
Don't look over there at the big 6'8" Colossus that's not in the lineup. But
all right.
But this mandate totally makes sense. We've seen it. And by the way, Aaron Judge is turning into Kyrie Irving.
Well, I was going to say, actually, we did miss a topic in our original breakthrough that we do have to talk about. I realized we never talked about. Let's connect the two stories. Kyrie Irving being fined. What was it? Was it the Nets or Kyrie Irving fined half?
It wasn't $500,000. It was $50K.
50K.
So I wish it was $500K because they're so stupid. But
Kyrie fined $50,000 for entering the lock. So let me explain this story. So it was a Knicks-Nets game, and it was at the Barclays Center. But now the players still had the mandate, but the arena they've laxed on that even if you don't have it, even if you don't have it, you can still enter. They're allowing the full crowd.
He was sitting in the stands. They allowed him in the arena.
But because he went into the locker room to talk to his fellow players, he has been fined $50,000.
Now he's a dumbass for walking.
He did not even try to wear this. He didn't even try to he didn't even try to Bobby Valentine it. Where he's wearing a fake mustache, one of those funny nose glasses, going, "Say the magic word."
You know that everyone knows Kyrie Irving. But here's the problem. So they let him in the arena. They allowed him to sit in the first 3 rows as a fan. And you fined him $50K for going in the locker room, but you won't let him play. Why? If he's allowed in the arena, why is he being fined? I don't get it.
I mean, just have him wear a long trench coat, a fake mustache, maybe sunglasses, and go, "Hi, I'm Kyle Irvington."
But here's the deal. I agree with everybody else. He needs to be vaccinated. That's not a dispute here.
Well, no, but my point in connecting these two stories, Nick, is that if Kyrie Irving, who is on the Brooklyn Nets, who is with how baseball is seemingly on the downhill, meanwhile NBA has been on the upswing. If Kyrie Irving, one of the big 3, on the biggest basketball team in New York, is not allowed to play because of this rule and has to go through all this hard time arguing BS with the NBA and the Nets, if Aaron Judge is not that, he is not going to be allowed to take the field. That's my point.
I hate to bring this up. So you guys know Lee Zeldin, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I've had to deal with him multiple times.
Representative Lee Zeldin.
He's a real jerk, but that's a whole different issue. So he tweeted out a couple hours ago, New York City's private sector COVID vax mandate bans pro athletes like Brooklyn Nets star Kyrie Irving, as well as Mets and Yankee players from playing home games. Meanwhile, all visiting players can still play. This ridiculous, unscientific mandate needs to be revoked immediately. Now, I usually
he does point out that a little hypocrisy.
I usually disagree with 99.9% of everything he says, but at this point, I think he's right in some aspects, because if Kyrie Irving is allowed in the arena, he should be allowed to play.
Yeah, but for the wrong reasons. That means the mandate should still be in, though.
But it is a little hypocritical that hypocritical that, let's say, the Minnesota Twins come in, one of their players is unvaccinated, he's still going to be allowed to play.
It happens with all the players that come into Brooklyn to play. Some of them aren't vaccinated. They still play. How can that be? I'm not saying Kyrie Irving's a jerk.
I'd say, not saying that Kyrie Irving isn't a jerk and that you shouldn't be vaccinated. You should. But I'd say, looking at it, it's a lot of head scratching, basically.
It's a weird loophole of the rule.
That's the word. That's a weird loophole.
So they need to get this figured out. If home players can't play,
I think visiting players shouldn't be allowed to visit. Right. Unvaccinated players shouldn't be allowed to play.
Because if you're going to take money out of the New York pockets, you got to take money out of their pockets too. It works both ways. Same thing.
I think it's fair.
And also Toronto. They're doing it in Toronto too.
I think it's fair.
And by the way,
absolutely fair.
And if you're in Toronto, you're almost forced to get the vaccine as an athlete.
No, if they flat out said, don't even come into the country if you're unvaccinated.
I wonder if they're already in the country, if they have to be vaccinated, though.
Well, that's going to be it. Actually, you know what? We're talking about the Yankees and Mets so much. That's going to be an interesting situation if any Blue Jays players aren't vaccinated.
I doubt it because of the mandate. They're probably going to have to follow it.
Okay, right. But again, we'll have to see.
This whole thing is ridiculous. And Nick has said it a lot, and I think he said it very accurately. There's one way to put this whole situation to bed, and it's to get the damn vaccine.
Exactly. Get the shot, and all this goes away. We stop talking about it. We stop bugging you about it. Believe me, all that goes away.
We don't have to have any. We don't have to have any doctors chasing you up and down the field.
Hey, here's the shot. Here's the shot. Here's the shot.
Gonna get you. Gonna get you. Gonna get you. Gonna get you.
And what? I can see it
it's
after.
Like a dog. It's like chasing a dog with a vacuum.
I can see it. Wow. Whoa. Dog catcher going on there.
It's like chasing a dog with a vacuum.
The problem is the dog probably has less shit than Aaron Judge is giving out right now.
Oof.
But
it breaks my heart to make fun of Aaron Judge like
it
this.
Really does. It really does.
I'm going to say it right now because after this show, this is probably going to happen.
Black. Oh, hang on. I never full out said what. So here's my thing. If it is true, Aaron Judge is not vaccinated. And the Yankees end up going in the same direction that they've been going for the last 3 seasons, where they're a 500 team up until late last season when they made their surge in August and September to get the wild card spot. You might as well just trade Aaron Judge at the trade deadline, see what you can get for him, because he is going to be a big free agent next year. And okay, the Yankees, I know it's not on the Yankees to embrace a tank, but they might. And guess what? You know what they'll do? They'll do what we said it was going to happen at the end of last season. They'll just sweep out Boone because, guys, they have their replacement in the broadcast booth now. They have his replacement.
It's not going to happen. For the
Carlos Beltran is one day going to be the manager of the Yankees. It's going to happen.
And that's the one day. And if that happens, I will protest the Yankees in every way.
Okay. If you're going to hold me, Nick, if you were going to hold me to that, you were going to hold me to not watching baseball in 2022 if they canceled any games, I want you to hold Nick Morganson to protesting the Yankees. It
doesn't mean I can't watch other games. I just said I'll protest the Yankees.
I want you to hold Nick to the same thing then, Nick.
I will.
It just makes no sense.
I'm watching you.
It makes no sense. You're going to take a cheater and a moron and make him a manager?
I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying it's going to happen.
Go ask Rojas how that worked with the Mets.
I'm saying if Aaron Judge gets traded, it's going to happen. Carlos Beltran will eventually.
Go ask AJ Hinch how that's working out with Detroit right
We're going to have to put this segment on a highlight reel at the end of the year.
Detroit, Nick, is actually going to be on an upswing with all the young talent that they have soon.
Yeah, the problem is they were about to give $300 million to Carlos Correa. That would have been
well, they're still paying Niggy, but that's all.
Oh, yeah, because that's working out for them at the age of, 40-something, and they're still paying him $37 million a year.
Also,
good job!
Also, to wrap up MLB talk, because of the NL now adopting the DH. Hey, welcome back, Nelson Cruz.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, we talked about some of the rules last week, how the DH, universal DH, we're going to play Little League Baseball with Little League bases. We're going to play with a pitch clock, which actually I think is not bad because we don't have to see pitchers walk around the mound for a half an hour and then throw a pitch. So it is what it is.
So, you know what? Actually, we do have one more MLB story we have to talk about. And one involving the Mets and one involving one of the biggest stars in the sport, Fernando Tatis Jr., both involved in accidents. Well, one involved in multiple accidents, we come to find out. So which one should we start with?
So,
let's go to Alonso first, because I have a big build up for Tatis.
Okay.
So Pete Alonso, apparently on the first day they were supposed to report, was in a car accident in which his truck flipped over, or whatever he was driving. I think it was an SUV. He flipped over, and he had to kick the windshield out to get out of the car.
Well,
Thank God he wasn't hurt.
He was going through a green light. Another car ran a red light and absolutely T-boned the shit out of his vehicle and caused it to flip.
Yeah,
that's just terrible. I feel bad for the guy because
he's lucky he's not dead.
Thank God he didn't die.
His wife was in the car behind him too.
Yeah, but exactly that's why I say thank God. But it's like. You hear the interview with him during that day. He looked like he saw a ghost.
Well, because he's thankful to be alive.
Exactly, and like I said, just lucky. He's lucky to be around. Fernando Tatis, however,
he gets involved in the accident, and his response is, "Which one?"
When the answer to how many motorcycle accidents have you been in, when the answer to that question is multiple choice. Then I think you've got a problem because don't they have behavior riders in contract?
Well, the Padres have come out and said his days on a motorcycle are
done, over, kaput, hasta la vista, baby. They're done.
So what happened? The context is necessary. So what happened is he got into a motorcycle accident and fractured his wrist.
So 3 months with no Tatis.
Exactly.
I'm going to throw some irony at you right now because we were talking about Aaron Boone before, and this all ties back to Aaron Boone, okay? So do you know how A-Rod ended up in New York?
Oh, because Aaron Boone
because he shredded his knee doing pickup
basketball. He was playing pickup basketball. He hurt himself. All of a sudden, A-Rod in New York, everybody.
So here's the thing. about baseball. We're talking about star power, but and we talked about Acuna with the Braves before, but he's still coming back from the ACL. So baseball is going to be for a time without both Fernando Tatis Jr. and Ronald Acuna Jr. That's kind of devastating for the sport, and it's kind of sad when it's because Fernando Tatis Jr. I mean, he was a player. He was in the off season, and this off season was in multiple ways kind of crazy. That
he
baseball,
did it to himself.
in a way, he did it to himself. Yes.
I hate to say this,
There's
but
certain things you just shouldn't do if you're a Major League Baseball player. Skydiving is one of them. Starring in a one-man show off Broadway is another. And I think maybe getting into multiple motorcycle accidents is a third thing.
Also, I think there's one that's topping all of them, and it hasn't happened yet, but I'm afraid it might. Co-hosting an internet show with Mike Francesa.
I mean, at that point, you're basically just asking for it.
But wait a second.
You are asking for the metaphorical ass whooping that you will receive.
Wait a second. So this guy just signed a $30 million plus deal with the Padres, who they made a huge investment. And you decide to go out and get fucked up on a motorcycle? I hope they...
Well, not intentionally. He didn't get on the motorcycle.
Wait a second.
Crash!
Time out. They should cut his ass and get rid of him.
What?
They should cut his ass and get rid of him.
You're ridiculous.
Really?
No, I'm not.
Ridiculous.
No, I'm not.
You are ridiculous.
No, I'm not.
It is ridiculous.
3 months compared to 12 years, and the fact that he's the star of this team and all the ability that he has, and he's a star of the sport, and you think they cut him and they get nothing in return?
It's irresponsible as an athlete.
It is irresponsible. I get it, but it's also irresponsible to cut
No,
one of the
it's
best
not.
players in baseball and get nothing for him.
No, it's
Out of
not.
your mind?
No,
You're
I'm not.
Stupid.
I
You're
am not.
stupid.
I
Yes,
am
you
not.
are.
No,
Yes,
I'm
you
not.
are.
No.
You're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. He didn't kill anybody.
What happened?
I understand. That is a low bar to clear. I understand. And he could have killed somebody.
Multiple accidents, though? This is not a first-time incident.
Exactly. I see that point. I do. But knowing
they've
what we
told
know
him
about
no
how
more.
Major League
But they've
Baseball
told him no more.
operates,
The $330 million investment. Do you realize how much, how huge that is?
But one player
mean-
team does not make, Nick.
But that's a lot. First of all, that kills.
Nick, look at Mike Trout. Okay, look at Mike Trout. Mike Trout and Shohei Ohtani. They're with the Angels. They're two of the best players in sport today. But they can't get anywhere because the rest of the team around them sucks.
Well, that I agree with you. But
So if you're telling me Fernando Tatis Jr., the fact that he's missing three months, okay, but guess what? If the Padres can't win without him, then the Padres are not a team that deserves to win.
I don't think they deserve to win. They keep bringing all these guys and they can't figure out how to win with them. All this money, they're trying to dump Eric Hosmer. I'm just saying, it's ridiculous.
My point, Nick, is I understand that what Fernando Tatis did is irresponsible. But the fact that he's only going to miss 3 months and he's still one of the best players out there in the sport, you can't just go and tell the Padres to release him because guess what? They're going to get nothing for him. They're not even going to get the you say that they should have some insurance. They don't have it. So you're telling them that they're going to release him for nothing.
Oh, wait a
Fernando Tatis, get to everyone and their mother would want Fernando Tatis
Wait a minute.
with that contract.
First of all, to sign any of those contracts, there automatically have to be insurance. They wouldn't do that deal without insurance.
My point, Nick, is that the Padres should get something even more than money in return, though. Look at that's the problem here. And if you're Fernando Tatis, the Padres should be freaking releasing or trading Fernando Tatis. You are an idiot.
No, I don't. Would you be saying the
you
same?
are.
Would you be
Yes, you
saying?
are, Nick.
Wait a minute. Would you be saying the same thing if he was out for the full year?
Yes.
yes.
That's crazy.
You're ridiculous. You
I'm
shouldn't even be on the show anymore. I'm sorry.
Wait, what?
I'm sorry. That is the most stupid thing you have
Let's
said
not go all
in
Tony
the
Reality
6-year history of this show.
Wow. Wow.
I'm not taking anything back. I'm sorry.
Seriously, where who are you and what have you done with Tom?
Wow. I usually don't even say things that nasty, and I can be nasty at times.
I'm being nasty?
No, I didn't say you're being nasty. I'm saying I can be nasty.
I was going to say that pot calling the kettle black. Jeez.
But I don't know. It's just my feeling that if you're going to do something stupid, if it was one time, I would have said, okay, fine. Young, dumb, and rich athletes, as Nick would say, do dumb things. Okay.
Okay. But this is the first time it's resulted in some injury that has been.
We don't know what happened in the other incident. That's the problem. We don't know.
I mean, if it's not a police report, if there's not a police report in it,
Well,
you're not going to find out.
First of all, they bury everything that has to do with a public figure. You know that. They bury them. I'm just saying, the teams of today with these owners, they will do anything to get out of contracts. That's what they do. They want to get out of all that money. Nick, am I saying something that's completely wrong? They try to get out of the money.
No, I understand. I understand where you're coming from.
2021 minor motorcycle accidents.
But it's weird that it's being hidden and it's first coming out now through a media.
Well, now there's attention on it. But yes, I understand what you're saying. I do. I absolutely do. And it is definitely a risky thing. But you know what? You can talk this out before you swing the swing the trade hammer.
You're talking about immaturity. I actually just came across a headline from the Big Lead about that he needs to grow up. Let this be the grow up moment. Then.
Yes, let this serve as the moment where you say, you know what? I think I'm going to leave my motorcycle at home.
Let it be this.
Maybe a decent helmet or a decent pair of gloves, or be a little bit more safe.
I have breaking news from the NFL. Do you want to hear it?
Why didn't I just buy an $800,000 sports car?
So Tom Pelissero just dropped an interesting trade from the Cleveland Browns. It's not Baker Mayfield, though.
Okay.
It's another quarterback being traded out of Cleveland. So the Browns are sending Case Keenum to the Bills for a 2022 7th-round pick.
That's worth the breaking news banner?
Yes, it is, because it makes no sense. They're doing all this stuff around Baker Mayfield.
Breaking news: Browns continue to Browns.
So then the backup quarterback in Cleveland is Baker Mayfield.
That's the reason why I brought it up. There's a reason why I brought it up, because they're doing everything around Baker Mayfield except trading him.
No, you're going to stay in the backup role and you're going to like it. Vinny Testaverde much?
Why?
Yes.
Dumb.
I feel like every time Tom freaks out like that, I always feel like.
By the way,
that meme of the sicko outside the window.
Nick,
yes.
Nick, I need to say one thing. This has been the most entertaining show because Tom has jumped off the rails at this highest level.
So, you guys ever hear that song by Khaled, Young, Dumb, and Broke? I think we just need a version where it's just dumb, just repeated constantly. Dumb, and dumb. Trade Baker Mayfield to the Colts where he wants to go because you have no need for him anymore with Deshaun Watson. Trade Baker Mayfield to Seattle because they've reached out and are actually willing to give you pieces, and Baker can have, Metcalf and Lockett. No, we'll just trade Case Keenum over to the Bills where he can be a backup to Josh Allen. And instead of getting a third, a fourth, no, we'll just get a 7. We'll get a last round pick.
You're going to be a backup quarterback and like it.
They pretty much traded him for nothing. Let's just say that.
Total sense. Total. Genius.
With a capital J. Genius with a capital J.
RELA.
Oh, great. We got to go to you now.
We didn't even get to Mr. Astrophysicist over here.
It's time to get to him now.
Well, we'll make it quick because we knew we were going to run a little bit over today with all the news happening.
Well,
so
let's say this is free agency, friend. Let's talk about let's lead off with the trade. Let's lead off with how Davante Adams is now in freaking Las Vegas.
Well, you can thank Aaron Rodgers for that.
So he pushed Davante Adams out.
Let me explain. So Aaron Rodgers. Remember how we just talked about last week or so that he was the new highest paid player in football because of the extension that the Packers gave him. They straight up reportedly told him, if we do give you this, your buddy Davante is out of here. Remember, The whole time we were discussing about will he or won't he return to the Packers, we said those two are joined at the hip. That if Rodgers goes somewhere, Adams would follow him. But Rodgers flat out told them, yes, it is fine. And what that resulted in was this trade that Davante Adams is now over in Vegas, and apparently some of the roster is what would be the word, Nick? Peeved,
Disheveled.
Pissed, about ready to shove him through a fucking wall.
Well, another interesting deal just came down. So Ian Rappaport.
We're talking Bobby Knight pissed off here.
Hey, go check out Knack if you want to go check out Bobby Brant. Oh my God. Oh, I'm tired. Don't mind me.
No, let me explain now. So the Green Bay Packers receivers right now are Alan Lazard. Is Cobb still with the team? Is
Barely.
Is Valdez Scantling still with the team?
Well, wait a minute. So Ian Rappaport is reporting just now.
Oh no, he's a free agent. So there.
The Packers have agreed to terms with veteran defensive back Rasul Douglas, giving him a 3-year deal. So they're giving everybody else a deal except Davante Adams, who they basically traded away, which, by the way, Davante Adams made out with the Raiders. Let's not dispute that.
He absolutely did.
Yeah, congratulations.
141 million? 141 million.
I am telling you, guys, exactly the same kind of thing that Johnny said on Game On Tuesday, the premiere of Game On. Aaron Rodgers is going to single-handedly destroy this Packers team.
He already has. It's not if, he has. His money.
But
he's
guess what?
Deep in that.
Okay, but look, with the roster that they had, they made it to NFC title games. They made it to the divisional round last year. They got the number 1 seed. They're not going to get any of that without Davante Adams.
Exactly. which again, therein lies the point. Because to be honest, entirely honest with you, unless they're coming out with some kind of space age, look, receiverless offense, look what happens.
So
you're not gonna go but 10 fucking feet in front of you.
The
fucking playoffs.
The numbers of the Aaron Rodgers contracts, as we're talking about the numbers, $42 million in 2022, but because of the signing bonus, deferred money, it's only going to count as 28 in the cap this year. $59.515 million in 2023, $49.3 million in 2024. So we're talking $150 million total. But who knows if he's going to play all those 3 years? Now, they're talking about deferring with that bonus money. So basically, you're pushing dead cap money into the future and beyond just to keep Aaron Rodgers.
Well, really, if you want him to leave before the contract's up, all you need to do is just chase him with a giant COVID vaccine. He'll run the other way.
That's a good point.
The Falcons just about a few hours ago, they're going to bring back Cordarrelle Patterson, 2 years, $10.5 million. I say he deserves that $10.5 million after what he did in this last season.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of weird things that happened so far in the quarterback market.
I got another one for the wide receiver market, guys. Juju Smith-Schuster is heading to Kansas City.
I saw that. I broke it on our account.
That is going to be a scary offense.
It's already a scary offense. Now with Juju Smith-Schuster healthy,
scarier.
That's
your top two receivers are going to be Tyreek Hill and Juju Smith-Schuster.
Ouch.
I mean, who do you defend? Like that's what it becomes.
Pick your poison, really.
You can't double team a guy on that offense.
And if you do, well, guess what? Even if you don't have, say Juju, they still got more depth wide receivers over there. That's scary.
They have a running back threat also. Like they're a full team. And when Patrick Mahomes decides to be Patrick Mahomes again and play healthy, they're going to be the threat of all threats.
DJ Moore going through some more deals as of late.
DJ
Moore just signed a new 4-year, $73 million to stay with Carolina. Dunlap and Hyde are both released by the Seahawks. The Seahawks continuing to just tear it down over there.
With already releasing Wagner as well, who's been there for 10 years. I mean, that team is a joke.
Even though the Falcons lost out on Deshaun Watson, reportedly, there's still some reports about, still rumors about Matt Ryan possibly getting traded from Atlanta.
It's not going to happen. He's going to be there his whole career. Just watch.
Allen Robinson going over to from Chicago to LA.
Hey, he finally found a team he can play on.
And now, if you want to talk about scary wide receiver core, I mean, it still is over there in Los Angeles. But the reason Robinson is there, rumor has it, Robert Woods is on the trading block.
Because he was hurt.
I guess. I don't know if I'd like that. I mean, could you imagine, though, if they re-sign, if they keep Woods and re-sign Odell, their 5 wide receivers being freaking Cooper Kupp, Robert Woods, Allen Robinson, Van Jefferson, and Odell Beckham. My God, I would say the Rams would already be a favorite to go back.
Oh, with Stafford to boot on top of it? And by the way,
my goodness.
Rappaport, just reported that just now as well, that the Rams and Stafford are closing on a contract extension. Super Bowl champion cashing in with a roster bonus due tomorrow. The two sides are working on a deal ahead of that.
I mean, it feels like always whenever there's a, after a Super Bowl win, for some reason, the quarterback always gets a little more money. Well, you know what? Though? For all Stafford had to put up with in Detroit deserved. I'm not going to complain on that one.
Neither am I.
Speaking of recent Super Bowl winning quarterbacks, we have to end with this report. How is this the last story on our list? After 1 month of retirement, Tom Brady has come out of retirement and is going to rejoin the Buccaneers.
39 days.
39 days. Brett Favre would be proud.
Jesus spent longer in the desert.
Oh,
Jesus freaking wept.
At this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's like death, taxes, and a bad big screen adaptation of a Broadway musical.
Whoa.
It's inevitable.
Whoa.
No, we're not ending yet.
The Stafford deal was just officially announced.
Okay.
4 years, $160 million, 135 guaranteed.
That man just got paid. For
what?
1 season in Los Angeles, he just got paid.
Wait. What?
Matt Stafford, you were in hell. You were in purgatory so long. Actually, I'd find out hell with Detroit. It was worth it because you.
Wait a minute.
Set for the rest of your life.
Wait a minute. He got paid. He got a large contract.
No, I just said congratulations. After 1 season in Los Angeles, after all the suffering you had to do in Detroit, you just set yourself up for life. A Super Bowl and this over $100 million.
I mean, he's probably wishing that he'd been in LA the entire time.
Nick, he already made $150 million plus in Detroit. He's not broke. But
but now he has a Super Bowl ring. Now he has a Super Bowl ring.
Now I've got the ring, which I can put on my middle finger and tell everybody to fuck off.
By the way, I just hope he doesn't Joe Flacco himself after winning a Super Bowl.
Still, you didn't even let
elite.
Stafford didn't even let me finish my joke.
Finish the joke.
Didn't even let me finish my Brady joke. So,
okay.
Go ahead, go.
Tom Brady is inevitable because he's like a bad penny. He keeps turning up. And I mean, it didn't really surprise any of you two that he came back, did it?
No, hell no. I was waiting for the news to come out.
It's a clarion call to all the free agents, and we already saw that Chris Godwin's coming back, and probably because of Tom Brady.
Yeah, that's reportedly why the reason Brady's coming back is because he's trying to. The Bucks and Brady are trying to convince everybody to stay with Tampa Bay.
I mean, I feel bad. Well, I shouldn't feel bad for the guy. The guy who signed a 4-year, $40 million deal with the Bengals. What was it, Alex AC or something? I can't remember his name.
Can't remember his name either.
He left. Hey, don't get me wrong. Go get the money if you can go get the money. But I wonder if he's kicking himself with Tom Brady being back.
I mean,
you know who's kicking himself right now? The guy who spent over $500,000 to get that last touchdown ball.
I heard that might not actually go through now. I heard.
Well, now I don't want it.
Well, after 20, it's not even 24 hours. Not even 24 hours he comes back after spending that money.
I'm just saying, I heard that it might officially come back now that it's not the last touchdown.
Maybe. All right. Let's get out of here.
Well, can I read one more tweet from Chris Carlin about the Yankees situation and how the Yankees and Twins will be intertwined. So he tweeted, Twins dumping the Donaldson contract off on the Yankees allowed Minnesota to get Correa. The Yankees wouldn't propose a similar contract. He said, I'll say it again. The problem isn't the spending. It's how they've spent the previous money. The fifth Steinbrenner Cashman is killing you.
Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Wait, who?
Oh,
Who tweeted that?
Chris Carlin.
Yeah, fuck him.
Ouch. Oof.
How about just fuck everybody and we end this show right now? Fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you.
Fuck me too.
This was a funny show today.
So that's gonna do it.
Just
for us at Empty the Bench. So
Just
make
make
sure to like and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thanks a lot for Knack for sponsoring us. Make sure to go to knackbags.com to get your free TSA-approved bag lock. You can get it at checkout. It's 15% off, but it's absolutely free.
Make sure, hang on. Make sure to, when you go to knackbags.com, pick whatever knack bag you want. Make sure to order the lock. And when you go to your cart, when you go to checkout, use the promo code BENCH, and you get that lock for free.
And make sure you put it's very important. Make sure you put the lock in the cart. That's what they say. It's very important, or else you won't get it with the code. If you just enter the code and don't put the lock in, you don't get it. So, very important.
All right.
Okay, I'm out of breath.
Yeah. All right. So make sure if you are watching this on Twitter to like the episode, give it a retweet to spread it around. Make sure if you're watching on Facebook to like this post and do the same thing, share it so it makes away. Make sure to like the page as well. Those of you watching us on our home on YouTube, make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. When you subscribe, make sure to hit the bell. That way you get all the notifications from this channel. That way you get not just Empty the Bench notifications, but you get Beyond the Bench. You get Living Life. You get our two newest shows. The Hearst Show is back. And you get Game On with Johnny Montalbano.
Actually, the Hearst Show has a guest similar in our topic of the realm. In baseball, former umpire Dale Scott will be on that show.
So make sure you tune in for that.
That's Monday. That's what, Monday at 8 p.m.?
No, Monday at noon. Noon Eastern.
Noon Eastern, yes. So Monday, noon Eastern. Also, make sure to get, when you subscribe, you hit the bell, get notifications for Living Life, which is always every Thursday.
Yep.
Here Now the News. So make sure they ring the bell.
Yeah, ring the bell, damn it! Oh, I'm way behind. Ring the bell!
I caught you off guard. Wow.
Yeah, I actually didn't have my soundboard open. Eesh.
Okay, so that's going to do it for Nick Morganson, Nick Federa. I'm Tom Albano. We'll see you next time. Until then, take care, everybody.
Good night, everybody!
Good night.